After having enjoyed my favourite Elder Scrolls game so much this past month, I figured it was time to talk about my least favourite Elder Scrolls game. And no, it's not Redguard or Blades, because I've not played either of those. Instead, it is The Elder Scrolls Legends. The Elder Scrolls based online card game that came out in 2017 and was developed by Sparky Pants Studios, whose website, by the way, looks like this. I went looking into more details about Sparky Pants Studios as just, curiosity about what else they did. And it was like, oh, this is their entire website. There's nothing you can click on here. That's it. And if you've not heard much about The Elder Scrolls Legends, that makes sense. Support for the game stopped at the end of 2019, and the Asia service shut down at the end of 2020. So the game is definitely dying, so to speak. It's still playable, plenty of places in the world, but it's clearly not doing well. Nothing new's been added for 2 years now. It's very much a case of they've just left it up for the remaining people who do enjoy it. Now, this game, I have a lot to say. That's all I can preface this with. I've got a bunch of bullet points. I'm gonna go through them all. Not everything's gonna be bad. And in fact, we're gonna start with one good thing, which is there's a really cool initial story mode that lets you experience the battle for the Imperial City against the Thalmor. This is like, you know how in Skyrim we're all like, oh, the Imperial City was taken and the White Gold Concordant and all of that. You get to experience that stuff within this game, which is really cool. It's awesome, quite frankly. You get to be your own little adventurer, meet up with some other characters. There's also, with the story as well, isn't entirely superficial. It has mechanics that come into play within the single player mode, and there's choices, and which choice you choose affect what cards you get, which is really cool. Plus, when you complete chapters, you get good rewards. You sometimes get cards and gems and coins and all of this other stuff. The single player campaign that I went through was a lot of fun, and it's what got me really playing the game and enjoying myself. So, straight away, that's just yeah, thumbs up. And then I was really happy to see that there's 3 other campaigns, and it would have been great to play through them, but you have to pay for each of them. Now, this is a free-to-play game, so I get that you have to pay for stuff in it, but each of these campaigns costs, at its cheapest price, $20. That is $60 just to play through the single-player stuff in this game. That's a full-price AAA game, and the single-player campaign I played through was not that long. It really wasn't. This feels like a ludicrously high price for what it is. But the campaigns also give you the best rewards, so they're not going to give it away too cheap, are they? And that sucks, because this could have been a really cool single-player card game. The multiplayer bit I'll get onto in a second, but the single-player aspect of it I really do love. And I think there's a solid basis here that could work really well. It could even be thrown into a mainline Elder Scrolls game. Elder Scrolls 6 could have this card game in it with its basic mechanics, and it would work really well. It would be went for The Witcher, or Triple Triad in Final Fantasy. It'd just be one of those card games which makes the game even better. And the best thing that can come about from Elder Scrolls Legends is incorporating it into a mainline Elder Scrolls game. The worst thing that can come about from Elder Scrolls Legends is playing Elder Scrolls Legends. Now, the problems with the card game itself is that it's not really a synergy-based game or doesn't have any advanced tactics, so the best way to win is have value cards, essentially, which just means good cards for their cost. A nice cheap card which doesn't cost much to play and has decent stats. Because you start with 3 cards, you draw a card a turn, you get 1 extra mana each turn. It's a very simplistic game, honestly. When I was playing it, it felt like a beginner's Magic the Gathering, essentially. And because it's very much based around just better cards equals win, it means most matches aren't very close. I had a lot of matches which were just, I lost and there was no chance of me winning, or I won and there was no chance of my opponent winning. There's a few times in the mid-game where there's a bit of back and forth with killing each other's creatures and stuff, but it very quickly, either from the get-go or at the end of the match, just becomes a case of, oh yeah, we can tell who's going to win and there's nothing to change that. And winning is always just reducing your enemy's life total to 0 by attacking them. That's it. That's what you do every time. It's very straightforward. However, I used to play Magic the Gathering Arena, which is the online Magic the Gathering service game thing, and in that I had some really cool and inventive ways I both won matches and lost matches. I'll show some footage up here, probably of like, I don't know which one, the one where I like draw the enemy to death, or there's one where I steal an opponent's card which lets me self-mill myself to win the game, which was like an amazing move, and it was a really tense moment because I hesitated because I didn't know if the enemy was going to counter, because in Magic the Gathering you've got instants which you can play on your opponent's turn. However, in Elder Scrolls Legends, all your cards you play on your own turn, so you don't have any real reactions. There is the prophecy mechanic, which is after losing every like 5 health from your starting, you break a rune, and if it means you draw a card, and if that card has prophecy on it, it gets played straight away for free. It sounds much more complicated than it is, just because everything's got these weird names. But the prophecy mechanic very rarely triggers, it's completely RNG really. It's not something you can like base a strategy around, it's just some randomness which can mix things up. Now, despite there not being like too much advanced strategy, I did have one quite fun little themed match just today actually, where I'd bought the Dragons deck, and I'll get into like the pricing and stuff in a minute, but I bought the Dragons deck, all about Alduin and that, and I played against someone who was using a Daedra themed deck, and that was really cool, like Dragons versus Daedra, that's awesome. It is the one and only time in the online mode where I've seen both myself and another player using a themed deck, which was fun, but it was really easy to win the match. There was never any point where I thought I was going to lose, just because my cards were better than the opponent's cards. There was no like, oh yeah, I've outsmarted my enemy here, or ha ha ha, they've made a mistake in their moves. It was literally just, no, my cards that I've drawn are stronger, and their cards they've drawn are weaker, so I'm going to win. That was it. I felt no like pride in my ability at the end of the match. I was just like, yes, that one I won. That was it. And also with it being a case of, hey, you need the good cards to win, you'll be super happy to know that earning new cards, it takes ages. It takes so long. So from all my time playing, which is multiple arena matches, multiple online matches, a lot of practice matches, leveling up to level 10 in the experience thing, which takes ages as well, and completing the free single player campaign, I had just enough coins to buy one themed promotional deck, which was the Alduin deck, which gave me some decent cards. Apart from that, getting cards is very difficult. They cost like hundreds of soul gems, and you get like 10 soul gems a win, and for like a half decent card you're generally looking at 400 or 800 soul gems I think it is, so it's like every 40 wins you can get one new card you'll like, and a deck's made up of 50 or 75 cards. It's so slow to get like good cards, and because the game is just good cards equal win, it means you're gonna struggle at the start, like a lot. It's annoying. Plus, matches take a while as well, because for some weird reason, everyone I played against online was playing like glacially slow. I'll have a clip playing right now where you'll see just my opponent doing nothing for like a solid minute. I start playing with the little animations around the board and just wiggling my mouse to make sure nothing had frozen. It was terrible. Plus, there appears to be like a your turn is ending timer sound that happens after a while. There's nothing visual to indicate this, but I'll let you listen to this sound for a second, and keep in mind that you hear this pretty much every match, generally 2 or 3 times a match. Yeah, that sound. That's the sound of, hey, your opponent is like running out of time to make their moves. And I don't know what the ending part is, because the opponent always makes the move, because that sound goes on for like a solid minute. It's, oh my god, it's the worst your time is running out sound ever, because the opponent hears it as well, and it's just painful. You all heard it, it's painful. Now, the fact that you can't really make a proper solid deck right at the start, unless you get very lucky with the cards that the game decides to give you in random packs, is a problem, and that's it. That's it. It's a case of if you want to do really well at the start, you're going to want to pay to win, because this is a big old pay to win style game. If you've got like tons of disposable cash, you can just buy all the cards you want, you can put together the best decks with like just tons of really great value cards which all work well, and you'll just keep on winning. But that'll probably cost you like a few $100s, I'd imagine, which is expensive. Also, a very minor gripe I've had, but one I do want to mention, is that the pricing is in dollars, and I'm in the UK where we use pounds. And it's just a minor thing, but I was like, why is it showing me the price in dollars? This is just annoying. Now honestly, that's all I've really got to say on the negative side of it. It's just a case of, the game's not very advanced, so winning just means get the best cards, and to get the best cards, you have to really pay money. And that's it. That's it. It's pretty simple pay to win, but the game has potential. I already mentioned that this would be great integrated into the Elder Scrolls 6, and I'd love to see that, because there's some enjoyable parts of this game, and it could be made a lot better by not just being a standalone project. If it was just added into the next Elder Scrolls game, just like Gwent is added into The Witcher, it would enrich the experience so much more. Like, personally for me, I wasn't a huge fan of like The Witcher's combat and stuff. What attracted me was the story and Gwent. Gwent was what got me through the like main campaign or main story of The Witcher. So there really is so much value that could be attained from this terrible game in my opinion, but in its current state I cannot recommend anyone play this, and I needed to have a little rant about it because I've spent way too much time trying to get value out of this, and I'm just like, no. Elder Scrolls Legends is officially the worst Elder Scrolls game I've ever played, but there could be something good done with it. So that's it for my little video here. I've got many more enjoyable things to come up. Expect more Skyrim builds. I've also got a video coming up about a game which is having a different anniversary this month, so stick around for that. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.